Hello there. Today we're going to do three things. First of all, we're going to talk about essays, types of essay, and also more specifically the 5-paragraph essay, and we'll be talking about its structure. Then we're going to analyse an example body paragraph, and then number 3, I will give you some information about how to approach your writing, and I'll also set you your first piece of homework, assignment number 1. So let's start by talking about different types of essay. You know, people write essays for all sorts of different reasons. They might just be providing background information, or they might be trying to contrast different perspectives on a topic. This semester, we are only going to be focusing on one type of essay. It's called a persuasive essay. In Britain, when I was at school and university, I'd never heard about this, but I have it on good authority from many Americans that at American universities and colleges, they pretty much only really write persuasive essays. A persuasive essay is a one-sided essay. You're trying to argue a point to persuade the reader to accept the point that you're making. In many ways, it sounds more like political rhetoric or advertising or something. But anyway, let's stick with that this semester, because it means that we can focus on the structure and the language, and we don't need to worry about the ways that we can contrast and so on within an essay. Okay, so now let's look at the structure of a 5-paragraph essay. You have the whole of this document on StudIP. I'll divide it into 3 slides here. The reason why universities around the world use 5-paragraph essays is because you can then transfer the basics to academic work of any length. Okay, so first paragraph is the introduction. Notice what in the form section I've drawn the shape of a paragraph, and the very first line is indented. That means when you type, you have to press the tab key. When you write by hand, you just move your hand over to the right by a few centimeters. And at our university, we always want you to indent the start of every paragraph, no matter whether you're typing or writing by hand. I won't tell you much about the introduction today because we'll be looking at that in the winter semester. Let's just say that you will be writing a 5-paragraph essay in response to an essay question. In the introduction, you would start by referring to the topic in general terms and then making it more specific, and you would end the introduction with something called the thesis statement. This is basically your answer to the essay question. For the purposes of what we're doing today, your answer is yes or no. And actually for today your answer is going to be yes. So that is your thesis statement, quite simply yes. Okay, let's look at the body paragraphs. In a 5-paragraph essay, there are 3 body paragraphs. They all have the same design. So the very first sentence is a simple statement. It's a topic sentence. It provides one main argument. And you will see an example later on in this video. Don't use the word because or as in your topic sentence. That will come in the rest of the paragraph. So keep your topic sentence short and simple. Make sure it's a statement. And it's one of the reasons for why you say yes as your answer in the thesis statement. You would then provide 2 or 3 pieces of support, possibly with concrete examples or with argumentation to show why they support your topic sentence and why that supports your answer in the thesis statement. The very last sentence is a concluding sentence. Don't confuse that with a conclusion. And a concluding sentence does not conclude, it's a summary. It sums up the paragraph that it belongs to. And it shows the reader how your argumentation relates to your answer to the essay question. Next, the conclusion. We'll be looking at conclusions in detail in the winter semester. But basically, in the conclusion, you have no new information. There's quite a lot of repetition, sometimes using different words. You remind the reader of what your 3 main arguments were. Remember, 1 argument per body paragraph, okay? So you remind the reader of those arguments and also how you supported them. And then you help the reader understand clearly that your 3 main arguments do indeed support your thesis statement. Okay. Our focus this summer semester, we're only looking at 1 body paragraph, and in the winter semester we'll be looking at a lot more. Obviously, by the end of the winter semester, you should be really good at writing 5-paragraph essays. Okay. There's an example body paragraph in the document on StudIP. If you haven't yet read it, please read it now and see if you can guess the answers to the 4 questions which come directly after it. And we will be looking at the body paragraph in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Many tourists will appreciate the excellent infrastructure that Germany has to offer. That's the very first sentence. It is our topic sentence. So we now know that this paragraph will only be about how or why tourists will appreciate Germany's infrastructure. Okay, so the paragraph will only be about what it says in the topic sentence. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. Such infrastructure might include transport and accommodation. Oh, so these are going to be my 2 supporting arguments, transport and accommodation. You don't always have to do it like this, but in this case, I've written this second sentence as a little menu for what the paragraph will contain. So I'm going to write about transport and accommodation, and in fact I'll do so in the same order as it says in the second sentence. Typically, tourists will initially discover the efficiency that Germany is renowned for when they arrive in the country, as the airports are clean and waiting times to collect luggage, for instance, short. No tourist wants to start their holiday with an exhausting, anxiety-filled experience, and so they will be appreciative of the smoothness of their travels. Okay, so all of that part is about we've also got the next sentence. Similarly, tourists will usually find that their onward journey on Germany's extensive rail network or on the well-maintained road system will make their arrival at their destination as comfortable as possible. Okay, so all of that part is explaining why or how the transport element of the infrastructure is something that tourists will appreciate. Some of my argumentation there is counter-argumentation, where I write that, this is good, so it's good that the airports are clean and efficient because nobody wants to have dirty, inefficient airports, and so on. I think you can see that, when you write your support, was it Plato or Aristotle in ancient Greece who used to walk around the city with his students, teaching them to question everything, to ask why? Well, as you write, I want you also to write why. So if you make a statement, your next sentence definitely has to explain why or how. Okay? So as comfortable as possible. Notice, by the way, the connection between sentences. So I finished that sentence about comfort, and the next sentence also starts with comfort. This comfort will not end at this point, moreover, as German accommodation tends to be of an outstanding quality, irrespective of the price range. We're now on to accommodation. Okay. Even the cheapest hotels are normally very clean, and it is uncommon to find broken light switches, broken taps, broken furniture, and so on. Even campsites continue this theme of cleanliness and orderliness, removing many of the small annoyances that can destroy people's holidays. So you can see that I'm really trying to argue my point and explain why. You might need to read this text a number of times, quite a lot of times in fact, just so you can see how it's structured, how the supporting arguments really do support what's being claimed. Okay, how far did I get? That can destroy people's holidays. It is indeed rare to hear of tourists moaning about unacceptable standards found during their stay in Germany, so I'm really trying to persuade you here. Thus is a word people don't use very often in normal life, but it's very common in academic writing. Thus, it appears that Germany's transport and accommodation infrastructure play their part in making the country a good holiday destination. That's my concluding sentence, isn't it? You can see that I've referred back to the transport and accommodation, and I've referred to the main argument about infrastructure. I've actually combined them in this case. And I've referred back to my answer to the essay question. My thesis statement, if you remember, was basically yes. So yes, Germany is a good holiday destination. So in that concluding sentence, just one sentence, I managed to refer back to the 2 points, transport and accommodation, and to the topic sentence. Many tourists will appreciate the excellent infrastructure Germany has to offer, and to the thesis statement. Okay. So I think I've answered the first question. What's the topic sentence? That's the very first one. What are the supporting arguments? Well, we know that's transport and accommodation, basically. Question number 3. This is one body paragraph from a 5-paragraph essay. What do you think the essay question might have been? Well, you can see from the concluding sentence, in making the country a good holiday destination, the essay question was, is Germany a good holiday destination? Okay. So question number 4, what arguments do you think the other 2 body paragraphs might make? Well, that's going to be your job in just a moment. Okay. Anything else I need to tell you right now? No. So let's look at the 3 steps I have for writing an essay or for writing a body paragraph. So yes, this is your essay question. Is Germany a good holiday destination? If you write in American English, please change the word holiday to vacation. In this way, I will know right away if you're writing in British English or in American English. Okay, step 1, I think you can see it's a mind map. I can hear you, you're already saying, oh God, no, we had to do those at school, we hate mind maps. Listen, the purpose of a mind map is to throw all of your thoughts down onto the written page. You don't have to have any structure at this stage. It's just, at first you might suddenly get a whole load of different thoughts. You just want to quickly jot them down. And by using this kind of system, you can use arrows and whatnot to show connections between different ideas. Step 2, I call a family tree. This is where you structure the notes that you took in your mind map. You want to have 3 answers, 3 reasons for your answer. So if your answer is yes, Germany is a good holiday destination, you want 3 reasons. Each reason corresponds to a single body paragraph. When you first do your mind map, you might have so many ideas, and there might be some things which look like they're really good ideas. But if they don't fit into the structure of your family tree, then you have to say goodbye to some ideas. You have to be brave, okay? So here you can see I've started this family tree with one of the body paragraphs that was about infrastructure, and we've got the support with transport and accommodation and some notes, okay? So I'm going to want you to complete this by, first of all, by doing a mind map of your own. Obviously, you don't need to mention infrastructure on it. But then 2 other main reasons for why Germany is a good holiday destination. That's for 2 and 3, that's at that level, the same level as infrastructure. And then your support, which supports why you think number 2 is a good reason for why Germany is a good holiday destination, and the same for number 3. So I'm going to ask you, as part of your homework, to do a mind map and a family tree, but on this occasion I will not see them. Okay. Right. Back to me. Right, so that was quite a lot of information today. Your first homework assignment, as you can see in the document on StudIP, is to write one of the other body paragraphs for this piece of work. Okay? What I want you to do is I want you to do a mind map, and I want you to do a family tree, but on this occasion I'm not going to see them. However, if people don't do mind maps and family trees, I can normally see that that hasn't been done because of the chaos that ensues in people's writing. Producing a mind map and family tree helps you to keep your thoughts together, helps you not to write about topics which should not be in your paragraph, and so on. Upload your homework as a PDF to StudIP. I've created a task. There's a task option on the menu bar, and so that's where you need to upload it. Only you and I will be able to see your piece of work if you've uploaded it to the right place. The deadline is the end of May 2020. Okay, so you've got about a week. I won't accept anything which comes after that date. Okay. Normally people do this piece of writing in class, and they have normally it's around 50 minutes to do this. So there's certainly time to both watch this video and read the text on StudIP and do the homework in the time that it would take for one class. And in fact, the homework is additional to the class time. So there's no excuses. I look forward to reading your work, and I'll provide you with information about how I will speak to each of you individually at a later date. Okay, good luck.